intro. It's intro time. Shush. Everyone shut up. What's going on, main characters? Welcome back to Third Party Studios. We are here for the podcast, and it is going to be an interesting episode. A lot of big news that broke just last night, and a few other pieces of information we're going to be talking about. But before we get into all of that, let me just remind you guys that we have someone in the studio that we all try our best to ignore. It's the Cody.
Do you have to remind them?
Well,
I'm here?
That's the thing. I don't have to remind them.
I've always been here.
No, they all know. They all know how insufferable and
Fucking
ginger you
rude.
are. Piece of shit. No, welcome back.
Anyway, yeah, I'm the token ginger, Cody.
And I am your host, Talks Too Much. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us on the channel. We have some news to get into, but before we do, Cody, what has been your nerd week? What has been the amalgamation of your nerdiness, the totality of nerdness that is the Cody's experience of this week?
Well, I don't know about that. Let me tell you about Palestine. No,
Let's go there. Let's fucking go. No,
I've been doing the Dragon Age thing.
Yeah, you were doing a comparison last week, right?
Yeah, and I was swapping back and forth, and I got back into Dragon Age Inquisition after switching, and I haven't left it. 10 hours in, and I was like, I'm not going back and playing Veilguard again.
Bro, I
have like 100 hours in Veilguard.
That's amazing. Like, that's not like 1,000 hours, obviously.
2 playthroughs.
But it's still impressive that you were able to put that much gas on that fire.
But it's like playing Inquisition, and it's just better. Like,
Yeah,
there's not really a way to like describe. I mean, the game came out in 2014.
Sure.
And the writing, the gameplay, everything is just so much better in that game. Where it's not even like my original idea was whatever to just like do a comparisons, like
side by side
kind of thing. It's like it's not comparable at all.
Different art styles probably makes that almost impossible to look at as if they're similar.
Veilguard maybe looks prettier in certain spots, but that's about it.
Yeah. In the female male experience, it's just so pretty.
There is no female.
Non-binary.
Yeah, no. They're all encompassing.
Wait, are they body types? Are they body types in the character building?
One has a bulge.
Oh.
One has tits as big as mine.
That's pretty small.
Yeah.
That's pretty small.
Thank you.
Tiny tits. Unimpressive.
Yeah, that's about it. It's like, I want to go back and play Origins, because Dragon Age Origins is like the quintessential like normie RPG, where it's like it's real time with pause.
I really want to get back into Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor. Like, whenever you bring up Dragon Age Veilguard, I know they're not the same, but I
no, that's
where my head goes.
Game.
Yeah, that's
just because it's like medieval period.
I get similar vibes from the
Dragon Age would take like story steps and whatnot from Tolkien's universe. So I mean, every fantasy basically stems out of Tolkien.
It's all visual. It's 50,000 foot overview, because obviously I haven't played the Dragon Age games, so I can't even make a deeper comparison than that. All I'm saying is, like, when I look past Dragon Age and I just get a sense of what the art styles are, for some reason, Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War just pop into my head. I don't know if there even is any. I don't even know if I'm at like.
No, there's no
comparison.
There's no comparison there whatsoever.
Yeah, I wasn't saying there definitely was, but the
the Shadow games are very action based. And you got the Nemesis system. You got the there was a name for their action style towards like you got the Arkham games based off of their fighting techniques and whatnot, but no,
I never
very different.
I never looked to find out what the name of the combat system was. Obviously, the Nemesis system dominates headlines because of all the copyright issues, the fact that no one else can touch that system of game development.
It's Warner Brothers being the dumbest company in history.
But they also shuttered the studio that has the license for it, so they won't even use it again.
Well, they can't. Yeah,
exactly.
Unless they get Warner Brothers fucking go ahead.
Exactly. So
dumb.
That's a whole thing, the tirade about that. So
yeah,
we don't have to get into that.
Yeah.
But
It's like I'm just going through good RPG. Inquisition is probably it's not the best Dragon Age, but it's still good.
What
And you can spend 100 hours in it.
what small franchise would you say? Well, I guess small franchises might be an oxymoron. What smaller IP with a couple of games behind under its belt would you say? Would you put above the rest? Would you top out?
Like RPG, because I'm an RPG
Whichever.
guy. Like narrative game is like gameplay is like secondary to me. So
Whichever. Yeah. Because you play a lot of variety of game, and so I want to just kind of find out where like
Spider Studio has put out shit like Technomancer, which came out in what 16, and they have what's a fucking the native one that they I totally forgot his name, but they're trying to step in or not trying, they have been in the RPG realm for a while. They're just another studio that's trying to pick up the pieces that BioWare basically left behind, because BioWare used to be the go-to. You got that. You got what the
So I mean, like, out of the I mean, you've played like a bunch of different games, and again, I'm not saying it has to be story. Like, I don't want you to pigeonhole yourself into
not
just
like
narrative.
a gameplay kind of guy. Like,
Well, like Chivalry is a game I know you've like locked into for like a month and a half in a row.
yeah, I got my multiplayer games basically just to do something while listening to podcasts or something like that.
Sure.
It's just something in the background. It's like I don't care much for multiplayer games. It's not like something I'm like heavily invested in.
Sure.
Where it comes to with like RPGs and
So you brought up
like
Technomancer.
story-driven games.
So you brought up Technomancer, the Spider Studio. Who else? Like what?
They did Greedfall.
Is that it?
There's also Obsidian's been doing the same thing for a while now. They're the ones that are basically known for making the perfect sequel, because they're not offshoots, but they did New Vegas, they did Outer Worlds, they did their own Kickstarter, which was the most funded Kickstarter when it first began with Pillars of Eternity. It's just they also no, they didn't do that, but there's like a big gap when it comes to RPG narrative gaming. That's why I think how Baldur's Gate became so famous, Baldur's Gate 3,
right,
is because there was that lack, and then it was very accessible to normies, to where you can just dive into like a D&D experience and just do your own thing.
Yeah. Do you know? I mean, you remember we covered this story when Lorien Studios lost to the well, I don't know if they lost or just surrendered the IP. I don't know if they like were. I don't know that they were defeated. They might have just not wanted to do it. But they Wizards of the Coast actually opened their own studio to do Baldur's Gate 4. Skeleton Key Studios. We covered this story a while back. Yeah. And so Baldur's Gate 4 is going to be an absolute dumpster fire. And I bet a big part of that is going to be that Wizards of the Coast absolutely hates Dungeons and Dragons as an IP. They've everything that makes it like special, like a fun, enjoyable experience, something that gives you a world that feels lived in, a lore that feels interesting. They take away all of that to make it as like ambiguous as possible. Every race is, you could basically take a halfling and make them a Goliath for just like making them a super tall, bulky halfling. Yeah, There's nothing special about the races in the universe anymore.
The new rules when it comes to like creating a character in several tabletop games seem to just be like, nothing really matters. You can just do whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, so if you want to be like a halfling, and it's like, it doesn't matter. They like, okay, maybe now you have 30 feet of movement and you can see in the dark, and strength doesn't hinder you in what way?
Races are a cosmetic. They're not a mechanic. So there's not
right.
That's kind of the
better way of putting it.
Yeah. So now it's just a flavor of how your character looks, but it actually doesn't have as much of an impact as it used to. So, which is frustrating because there was not like
You're taking away role playing at that point.
right, and it wasn't like this is the problem with all these race hustlers in Hollywood who get their hands on big projects like this. They turn everything that's a complete non-issue into some allegory about race relationships. Like I actually knew a person, and I cut ties with this person, not talking to them right now. It's
You knew a gnome?
I knew a gnome. She was a gnome. We had a whole debate about why like orcs are not black people. And I kept having to tell him, like, no, they're fucking not. And he's like, but it says savage in the book description. It's obviously being racist. I was like,
well, doesn't that make you racist for equating?
That's the thing.
It
thing? Does. If you look at the description for the drow, the description for orcs, and you look at some of these evil races, and you see black people in your head, you're an asshole.
Or just
you're an asshole.
Considered evil in real life.
Yeah.
Like, how do you make that? Well, they did that show with not Brightburn. What's that Will Smith movie?
It's just Bright, I think.
I think it's Bright.
I think it's just Bright. Brightburn is the Superman, like evil variant of Superman kind of idea.
Just a kid. But yeah, they just did that shit with Bright, with Will Smith, where it's like, all right, yeah, orcs are considered evil in fantasy, and therefore we'll make them the fucking ghetto. And it's like,
yeah. It's if you have to look at monsters and villains and you see black people, there's something wrong with you. The entirety of the D&D has been a very open and like pretty receptive like community. Like people who played Dungeons and Dragons like organically they were desperate to find players. You couldn't have a game unless you could find 5 people who could commit regularly. If you had someone who seriously wanted to give D&D a try, I promise you, that guy was asking hobos off the street if they were interested in playing. Your your gender was a non-entity.
You want to play a white human fighter?
Yeah.
It's like the most generic thing.
Well, and it's all, I mean,
just play this character.
I think that it's become a little bit more mainstream in the last probably 15 years. With 5e and some of the updates to make it a simpler game, it became culturally significant with like Stranger Things and Critical Role. So I mean, it hit more of a mainstream, and people are trying to find more like easier ways to play it.
Nerddom in general
has grown. Yeah. Ever since people realized how fucking boring sports is after they made it impossible to like tackle people without getting concussions. Or
tackle people without getting flagged.
Yeah, exactly.
Or ejected.
He sneezed on the quarterback.
Yeah, he touched his ankle.
Put him in football jail forever.
It's like, dude, I'm just gonna go watch rugby. Watch these monsters just go at it.
I love that when in a universe where most major sports are trying to make the sports safer, Dana White's like, hold my beer, and he invents like slap bet sport.
Well, he bought it.
He bought it, or he mainstreamed it.
So yeah, you want to watch people just get knocked out?
Yeah, just absolutely demolished by an open palm bitch slap. Love that guy.
Open palm. Oh, that was actually the way of
water
going through Jade Empire, another BioWare game back in the day, RPG.
Just slapping people.
Open palm. No, okay. Open palm is like
good. It's a fight
quote
style.
Unquote, like good.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Like way of the open or the closed fist.
So we got a couple of stories to touch base on. I just want to get your initial take on this. So I had this up on screen for a minute, but a couple of articles came out just the other day or broke just like 24 hours ago. Video game giant Electronic Arts nears roughly $50 billion deal to go private. That comes from the Wall Street Journal. And then the New York Times says Jared Kushner's firm is said to be part of a $50 billion buyout of Electronic Arts. Which, if you're going to pick a guy to buy a video game company, I'm glad it's not. Elon Musk already said he's going to just make his own. I bet that doesn't happen. Not because I don't believe that he actually had an interest in doing it, but because of the amount of things on his plate at the time and how many other projects he has that are honestly far more important And I really want more competition. But if EA was taken private, we saw the success that happened with Twitter. Dude, that's all we'd really need is like take the king to the ground and just beat him senseless until he gives you the crown.
So, Jared Kushner's buying EA then?
Mr. Kushner's private equity firm, Affinity Partners, is said to be in talks with the Saudi sovereign wealth fund and Silver Lake to buy out the video game giant. So
that's fucking wild.
It's kind of like very out of left field. And this story was
when's the last time you heard of Jared Kushner?
Oh, dude,
2015.
Well, I mean, much later than that, like 2019, like the whole Abraham Accords. Like he piloted the Abraham Accords, and there was a lot of concerns about like whether or not he was getting money on through. There's some private messaging app. It's not I don't think it was Signal. I think it was something else.
I had to relook him up and just to make sure we're talking about the same Jared Kushner.
Yeah, Trump's son-in-law.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was I guess people were very like suspicious of him because most of the deal was being made through like these private messaging apps, and so they were concerned he was getting some major significant kickback or something. I don't care. My priority in the Middle East is to not be in the Middle East, and anything that gets us
you're like most Americans where it's like it doesn't involve us whatsoever.
No.
I don't want to speak to all Americans or whatever, but we're pretty much just sick and tired of playing police throughout the world.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. And I think we're all kind of done with it. It's happening way over there.
As these wars stop, I'm just like, please don't get in the middle of it again. Just don't go. Just don't start.
Yeah.
Like the whole India and Pakistan like missile.
Well, that's been going on. They have dances every month, actually.
Well, I mean, but there was a. You know what? Not an unfair point, but what I was kind of getting at was
they actually dance at each other every month.
I forgot about that. Oh my god, I hated that.
Like the gate.
Yeah, I was talking about the actual like missile, like back and missiles firing back and forth at each other for about a week there, and that shut down pretty fucking quick.
I thought they just beat each other with sticks.
Let's see. We got a little bit more in here. So, EA is nearing $50 billion deal to go private with the investors equity firm Silver Lake and Saudi Arabia's public investment fund.
Wait. So if he acquires EA, so like say he's ahead or whatever, does that mean that we'll get good sports games? We'll get good every not subsidiary, but every like every developer under EA will be like free basically to do whatever they fucking go back to what they want, because like EA bought out a fuckload of developers.
Yeah. Well, here's what mechanically would happen. They would no longer be public. And actually we pulled up the stock price on EA so we could show you guys what's up. So just in the last 24 hours since 8:30 a.m. on the 26th. I guess I'm trying to figure out what these timelines are, but this maybe just is the 26th. So at about 1:30 yesterday, it just spiked. It goes from 171 to 195 per share. It's freaking insane. Just a complete rocket ship flying upwards. That's pretty cool to see. This is where my hope is for this too. Taking it private would be effectively what happened with Twitter, where Twitter was public and they had stock prices and they had a board and they had all these other entities with sway and input, and then Elon has to put like $44 billion up in order to acquire the company, and then he owns it. He takes it private, but he gave all the stock. Remember when he was like talking about doing so? And the stock price was bouncing around, but the stock price for Twitter was only around like 15 or 20 or like $15 a share. It was pretty significantly low. He starts talking about and speculating about buying it. It jumps up to like 20 something. He offers $50 a share, or he offers like $50 a share. So he like doubles the actual value of it making making Twitter's valuation so freaking high that the board actually could not say no to him. It was insane. That was beautiful. And then he ends up making the platform worth that amount of money just by cutting all the fucking bloat and making it efficient. And then he wins the battle with the European governance board that was like trying to like shut down or like really like shut down advertising or they were recommending advertising on Twitter from the Europe, something in the EU, some entity in the EU, governing entity in the EU. And then he had the ad boycott that was pretty much like headed up by Bob Iger. We all remember the "Go fuck yourself." I love that line. That was so fun. That was so beautiful. But yeah,
Force me to advertise your shit on my platform.
Yeah,
go fuck yourself.
Well, and last point I'll kind of make, and I want to get your take on it, is that what we saw with Elon is what we could see with EA. We could see a huge cutting of the bloat, like independent, like empowering like the independent studio. Well, they're not independent, but empowering the smaller studios to go hard with their IP. Less boardroom bullshit, like less boardroom bullshit, and muddying up the water for the projects and making things worse. We could see a lot of ideas come to the forefront when it comes to like the sports games, like you were talking about. We could see a lot of variety come.
Yeah, and you're also like, you put up a picture of Star Wars. What was it? Last whatever. I don't even remember. It's created by DICE, Survivor.
Yep.
And that would free up DICE, which used to make excellent Battlefields and whatnot. You got Respawn. Or no, sorry. Respawn is the one that is making the Jedi games, which are good.
Mm-hmm.
They're very good.
Respawn, I want Respawn to just go back to... Do you remember?
But Respawn also made...
Titanfall.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
Go. This is Titanfall. If only we get Titanfall 3, if that's the only thing we get from this, and it actually comes out somewhat decent, that'll be enough. I don't need anything else. I don't want anything else. Like, EA is not done right by Star Wars, in my opinion. I know. I think I'm in the minority on that, because after they course corrected with Star Wars,
better than Disney.
Well,
which is insane much.
I mean, I'm only specifically referring to the Battlefront games. I'm only specifically referring to that.
Battlefront 2 is amazing.
I'm in the minority.
When it came out, it was horrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I hate Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I won't be convinced to like it. And my main reason was that it didn't have Galactic Conquest, which was the
Galactic Conquest.
It didn't have Galactic Conquest. It's not a Star Wars Battlefront game. You made a multiplayer online. Your campaign was absolute shit and just a total just cheapening, and just really, why throw it in there at all? You were almost better off not giving us anything than making that weak ass shit. So I'm not good. You're not going to convince me to like Battlefront 2, and it's primarily because I think that they should have just called it anything else. This is my biggest argument. This is my biggest argument with a few issues. Stop taking the names, the IP, the legacy, the lore of things we already know and love. If you want to create a multiplayer online shooter for Star Wars, you already have a billion titles. You don't need to repurpose Battlefront to bait out nostalgia for a game you're not even going to honorably rebuild. Fuck you, Star Wars.
But
fuck you, EA.
I mean, that's across entertainment industries when it comes to Star Wars.
And that's DICE, right? Like Battlefront 2 is DICE, right?
Yes.
It runs on that shooter engine. Yeah.
Well, with Battlefront, it's one of these things to where it's like, with Battlefront 2, they started the entire, countries across the world were just like, all right, we have gambling in video games now, so we're going to take legal action. Battlefront 2 was the start to that.
The loot crates. Yeah. The massive loot crate problem.
Because you had to spend like, I don't know, 180 grand to get fucking Darth Vader or some shit.
I know that you've mentioned being frustrated at seeing Counter-Strike at the top of like the boards for so much, but I actually have to throw one thing out there as you're bringing that point up. Counter-Strike had loot crate systems. They weren't pay to win. They didn't affect the gameplay at all, but they had loot crate systems for cosmetics for like a decade before Star Wars Battlefront 1 came out.
Yeah, I know.
Like Counter-Strike has had loot crates for a while.
That's where like the problem of micro transactions and whatnot really started was with Battlefront 2. But everyone like kind of says that Oblivion is the granddaddy of this because they had horse armor as DLC.
I think I remember hearing. I think I remember.
That was back in 08.
Was it Internet
07.
Historian or some YouTuber had like this history of microtransactions video. I watched the whole thing. It was like an hour and a half long. I think it was Internet Historian, maybe.
Yeah, so I don't say Battlefront 2 like started or anything. They perfected it enough to get the attention of
Governments,
world leaders.
Yeah. Oh, man, I love it when video games poke government. I love it so much because Japan has been just whooping the shit out of some of these companies.
But it's great is not having EA as like a basically like a test focus group where it's like everything that you're trying to produce, you have to go through millions, but a bunch of people to be like, is this okay? Are we doing this right? Blah, blah, blah. But instead of just having the artists do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that inquires BioWare is back. Or not is back, but could be back.
Mm-hmm.
You have DICE, you have Respawn. It's like there's so much potential.
So Respawn specifically, I want to talk about Respawn a little bit.
Hold on. We've talked about this multiple times though, is like the people that made the games that you love that are by certain studios, they're not there anymore.
No.
It's not the same studio. So it's like even though because BioWare owns Mass Effect and huge Mass Effect fan.
Well, you could have all of the. You don't need the same. Okay, you want a person may want that original like all-star team of developers who made all the Golden Age video games or had a big role to play in it. But you don't necessarily have to have them. Independent creators make some of the best content that we see right now, and small-time developers could do amazing things in this industry if they weren't being pigeonholed by middle management, boardrooms, identity politics. Like I think we could get more from even like Dragon Age Veilguard. I think we could have gotten more from that if there wasn't like so much boardroom pressure and so much middle management to like input the gameplay. Now, Dragon Age isn't a franchise I'm probably going to jump on either way, so I'm just using that as an example. But
you should. You should probably just do a playthrough of Dragon Age Origins.
No, probably not. Maybe we'll see. We'll see if we.
No. The no is fine.
If we get to 1,000 subscribers, I will play the entirety of Dragon Age on stream.
You might get hooked, and then you'll be sorely disappointed by all the other ones.
If I end up just torturing myself by not liking the game at all, then I committed to it already. It's done.
Well, it's dark fantasy.
That's not necessarily a game that I enjoy playing. Not necessarily. Some I do, but like we played First Berserker.
Let me rephrase this. It's a fantasy that takes itself seriously.
All right.
Instead of just being a fucking dark. We're fantasy, they got dragons. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was actually like when we were playing first Berserker, or we were playing, was it Berserk first?
Yeah, no, it's First Berserker, that Souls-like game.
Yeah. I thought there was a lot in the game that impressed me, but it was very much for a Souls-like player. I would never replay that game.
Yeah, I take no joy. I take no joy in Souls-like games. The worlds that they exist in are very fascinating to me. Just not that kind of player.
Right. I think what I would probably try is Space Marine 2. That and
you haven't done that.
Trader, is it Outpost? Is Trader's Outpost or
Rogue Trader?
Rogue Trader. Thank you.
Rogue Trader is a asymmetric. You got the view from above, and it's also turn-based, very text-oriented.
Okay, that's not as much fun to stream.
No,
So I would
Maybe
say,
on your free time.
yeah, one game I would love to actually go back through and play again would be the Command and Conquer, like top-down strategy game. Did you ever play Command and Conquer? Any of them? I mean, there's like 20 of them.
No, I've never played any of them, but I remember it's like they do this weird like live action cutscene stuff to where it's like,
Yeah.
it's a recognizable actor nowadays. You're just like, what the fuck are you doing? in this
Yeah.
cutscene?
Some of that was actually really fun. I enjoyed it. I love the old top-down strategy games because once you identify the meta, you could just cheese all the way through all missions effectively. Like there was a game called Stronghold, Stronghold Legends. There's Stronghold is a franchise that has like 5 or 6 games. There's Crusades. There's they came out with a new one that was like kind of more China focused. It was more Chinese focused. But
It's a more Chinese.
Stronghold Legends, once you get the trebuchet, you win. Because the trebuchet just has like ridiculous range. If you get the high, like actual elevation mattered too.
Its cooldown is super short.
It was. You basically just got 6 of this thing and you just took out everything in your path. You just had to make sure to like have enough archers. You would do trebuchet and archers and you literally could not die. You could melt a dragon before it breathed fire if you had enough archers.
Fuck, did you play this game?
Stronghold Legends?
Yeah.
A while ago. I mean, before the podcast, before the channel. I mean, quite a while ago. It's not a new game. It's like
You got into Stronghold, but you didn't get into like Total War.
I didn't have a problem with Total War, except that it was far more the issue with, I would say Stronghold is a diet version of Total War.
More accessible.
Or wait, I was thinking Age of Empires. No, Total War. I want to like Total War. I really do. The movement in the game is impossible.
Every dude online likes Rome. So
yeah,
you have to love this game.
I tried it. I tried Rome. Even on the campaign on the easy difficulty, I lost instantly. Like in turn 1, I was Rome, I was attacked and just lost. And I was like, what the hell just happened? I thought that like, and then I played the Medieval 2 is actually one that I think people like more than Rome. I think Rome is just more mainstream.
Yeah, very much so.
Medieval 2 is also the game that had the mod for the Lord of the Rings, Divide and Conquer, which I did play that for a little while, and I kind of got that working more or less, figuring out how the mechanics of the game worked, but there was an issue where how it like boots up on your PC is like it boots up in an entirely different like window that you can't close or access. It was very complicated. I wanted to stream it, but I couldn't figure it out. So with EA,
going back to EA.
With EA, I see a lot of potential here for this to actually be really, really good for the gaming industry as a whole. To have a private EA headed by Saudi Arabia, for all the issues you have in the Middle East, they do money right. They know how to have money. They're pretty fucking good at it.
They got a lot of oil.
And and they also know how to make like quality too. Like the amount of like Saudi Arabia, like they've invested in video games, shows, other types of creative projects in the world. And the ones I can't even name any off the top of my head. I remember having a positive impression of their work that they have influenced though.
When it comes to EA and what's going to happen or might happen is that I just wish that it would just go back down to, it's like, hey, we got these creative heads doing something weird. And it's like when it came to BioWare making Mass Effect, they were known previously for Baldur's Gate 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And they made Knights of the Old Republic, and they're like, I want to do a space thing.
Yeah.
It's like they didn't want to have it envelop or be part of the Star Wars world. So it's like, all right, we'll just give you a few million, you make a game in your own fucking opera, and it ended up being one of the best RPGs of all time. I want that back in gaming, towards just like, hey, you have an idea for something, let's throw some money at it and see if it makes it or not. Instead of just having this same. It's like everything. I'm gonna blame Far Cry 3 and Skyrim because they both came out like a few months apart.
Wow.
Where it's like, this is what open worlds are and this is what we do, and it's just continued from them. They have no originality. I mean, you're still crawling fucking towers in 2025 to look at the map, basically.
Yeah, to unlock like segments of the map. Yeah, I see what you're pointing to as an issue. Man, I wouldn't blame them. It's not their fault everyone else is bad at this thing that's obviously easy.
No, I don't blame. They started, it worked then.
Oh, you blame their success for the world's problems.
It was a success, and therefore everyone takes like the what made this thing successful. It's like the same thing with movies, to where it's like when Marvel, and it's like it's all cameos and whatnot. So they take like the thing that they think made it hugely successful, and it's like, No Way Home was very successful because of Andrew and Toby coming in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you don't take that and then apply it to all of your future shit.
Yeah, there was kind of like 20 years of setup for that. You're not really just going to be able to successfully like make people care in real time for and you're not going to get this organic like, oh my god, they're all coming together moment when you had these characters who literally were all just in a movie together a month ago, 10 months ago.
There is a funny thing in Dying Light 2 to where it's like when it releases, like something about climbing a tower or whatever. It's like, I'm glad I don't have to climb that. And then players wanted to climb it because one, the mechanics were good, towards like climbing felt
good, enjoyable,
and whatnot. It's like, let's implement to where they can do it, because now it's become such a meme of climbing towers. It's like, and people want to climb the tallest thing that we have in our game. But it's fine. Yeah.
Not to like, I know I keep segueing, but you're reminding me of like combat mechanics, and I think about first-person shooters, and I think about like first-person shooters suck because they all are getting super hyper realistic. And then I thought about the finals. I was like, the finals was actually fun. I actually enjoyed it. It was the cringy weird shit they put into it.
They try to Fortnite it, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm just over it. But I mean, the shooting mechanics were actually good. Like, and this kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't.
And you had three different classes.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd be spongy or you'd die in one hit.
Was it Brink that did the same thing with a small, medium, large? Was it Brink? Was a first-person shooter?
So glad you brought Brink up. Brink is severely underrated.
I thought so too. I remember enjoying it, but I didn't play it a lot. I remember playing a couple of matches, thinking it was good, but then had all these other games. I played Brink
when I didn't have internet.
When did it come out?
12.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, there was a lot of other big good games that were coming out in that generation. So I mean, it had competition, but
it actually had a story. It's like you had basically cops versus robbers kind of thing.
Yep. What do you think about specifically Jared Kushner? Like, okay, it's a political thing. He's Donald Trump's son-in-law. This would mean that one of the biggest gaming is EA the largest? Is EA no, Activision Blizzard would have to be, right?
Activision. I mean, you got a bunch of giants nowadays.
Epic, maybe. I mean, Epic's actually
not that big. Isn't Epic, but like a Gearbox?
It's got to be. Actually, it has to be Valve. Valve has to be. I would be. I know that it would have to be.
Valve owns
Steam. Valve owns Steam, and that's the marketplace for the PCs. Activision Blizzard doesn't have a store. They have a store, but it's not even. It's like 10 games versus all of Steam. I need to know who is the largest. You should just ask ChatGPT who the largest game company is.
I almost just typed as Trump's like, who's the hugest?
Huge. Who's the huge?
Who's the hugest gaming
I would bet it's either Valve or Epic right now over Activision Blizzard. My argument for Epic is that they own the Unreal Engine. And so every developer who has ever used the Unreal Engine and got over $1 million in sales, like Epic gets a cut of that. They also beat the ever-living piss out of Apple in the courts. In the courts over the Apple Epic legal dispute. That's its own video, so we're not going to dig too deep into that one. But
I don't like what I'm seeing.
well, let the audience know. Tell
when
the people.
When it comes to gaming companies, Microsoft is on top.
Interesting. Okay, I accept.
$3.2 trillion in gaming.
I accept. Okay.
And then you got like Tencent with Tencent second place. All right, so 3.2 trillion Microsoft, Tencent 474 billion.
Yeah, so it's a pretty significant drop there.
There's a big drop there.
So I wonder. So Microsoft,
and you got like Sony, Nintendo, NetEase.
Here's what we're gonna do. Hold on. Hard pause.
Roblox.
We're not
shows up.
like.
I didn't even know Roblox was a company. I thought it was just a game.
Sony and Microsoft. I like if you own the platform, like I want to give Valve a carve out because Steam is not owning the platform. It doesn't own like
Valve is dipping in a bunch of different pots. So
yeah,
therefore I don't think they show up.
Let's see if we can go down the list to the first one we can agree upon as like an actual game studio. I don't really count Microsoft as a game studio.
So like actual game studio is Sony, Nintendo, NetEase. Which you probably haven't played a NetEase game, so. And after that is EA.
Okay.
That's fucking insane.
I'm surprised.
Roblox Corporation. At, $33 billion.
That's the PDF file one?
Yeah.
That's the one that has the problem with the people pursuing young people.
That's where the maps go.
The old people pursuing young people.
Be politically correct.
Yeah.
Please.
I thought my title was longer than yours, so maps. Map. Say map. Map.
Take-Two Interactive.
I wasn't expecting to hear their name.
They do a bunch of shit under Rockstar. So like
okay, that makes some sense. Okay, I forgot that Activision Blizzard is actually just Microsoft.
Yeah.
That explains a lot more. That actually clarifies that quite a bit. I was expecting to hear them as a separate entity, but I forgot that Microsoft just has
Call
them.
of Duty, World of Warcraft.
Yep. So they have
Destiny.
Activision Blizzard, and they own a third of the consoles.
Yeah.
Actually, it's probably more than a third. I think Xbox is kind of gonna. I think Xbox's market share is going to skyrocket with the next console since it's going to be compatible with Steam.
They're not going to do a next console.
They are. They're going to be compatible with Steam. They're going to make it like a PC variant, and it's going to be. Or it's going to be.
They're just going all PC.
I mean, no. They're going to make a new console. We talked about this. Xbox is
Game Pass is where they make all their money now.
Right, and they'll still have that. This doesn't exclude that. They'll still have that. The distinction is that it will allow Steam to exist on the Xbox, which means people will be able to buy through the Steam store into their Xbox experience.
Yeah.
So that was
and then you got like Bandai Namco, which again, I don't know if you play a lot of their games. Like
I used to.
Show like that.
I used to play a lot more of it.
What was what's that one?
Wasn't the My Hero Academia? Wasn't the My Hero Academia?
A lot of like anime shit comes from them.
Dragon Ball Z Budokais. All of those were Bandai.
Why can't I remember? I remember the name, the protagonist, Adam Jensen. Why can't I remember the fucking game?
Is that? I'm not gonna get there with you. I don't know.
It's cyberpunk kind of thing.
Okay. Oh wait, was that he's a detective and he can kind of like see a crime scene's like time, like mapping and stuff, or like you can travel, like view the past.
Deus Ex. Jesus Christ.
Wow, that was a grind. We got there together. It was a journey.
Ah, God.
It's like a circle.
My memory's pissing me off.
Let's talk about another story though. I feel like we've beaten. I want to talk more. I want to just at least bring up some of these other stories as we're kind of going, because obviously Crowder's chimed in on it. Let's talk about Savant being delayed. What is your take on the Apple like IPs? the Apple like shows and intellectual property that they keep putting up. Like, what was it? The Severance was a really big hitting show.
Severance, yeah, it's another like oddball TV show, but it for some reason it takes 3 years for Hollywood to put out a new season,
Right.
and so it's kind of dropped, not in quality, but in just like performance.
Right.
Apple TV also put out. Did they put out? They put out The Foundation,
Mm-hmm.
which is like it's a big sprawling like sci-fi kind of thing, and they cucked it.
Yeah. Well, as they always do.
Yeah, they just made it's like we're just gonna do everything about social politics that are occurring in our time, and not just what happened in the books at that time.
Let me read this real quick. Apple TV Plus has indefinitely delayed the release of their new TV show, The Savant, starring Jessica Chastain. The series follows an undercover investigator who infiltrates hate groups online to detect and prevent domestic extremists before they act. So, what this doesn't clarify is that it's all right-wing extremists and hate groups in the show. They were explicitly targeting the right-wing groups and saying that was it. Now, as soon as Charlie Kirk's situation happens, like hit with his assassination, he
Shooting on the ice facility.
shooting it. Yep. And then they're like, well, if we make this show, they're going to be really confused why we don't have any of these examples in the show. They're
Well,
gonna,
I mean,
they're gonna be making shit. They're already gonna be making shit up. It doesn't help that they're gonna have real live examples they can look out their window and see of
they don't.
left extremists.
They're postponing the show. Why?
Well, they don't. Yeah. Okay. To answer the
Because
question,
bad timing. They're not gonna. They don't think it. They don't think anything different.
No, I agree.
After everything that happened.
They pulled the trigger on this like within a day or two of everything that happened. So they moved pretty freaking quick on this. What I think is likely to happen is now that Jimmy Kimmel's back and
Free speech is saved. Yeah.
yeah,
right.
free speech is saved. So Savant is going to come right back. It's going to be there. Don't worry, everyone. They'll hate on the right more. They'll call you schnazis. They'll call you schnazis and schnashisms. So I mean, don't worry, dude. It's coming back. This isn't going to be more than if this show gets delayed more than a month. I'd be very surprised. It's gonna.
Well, now that it is delayed, it is going to go under everyone's radar. No one will watch it. No one watches a bunch of this.
Yeah, they'll have to come back. There will have to be a moment in time when I suppose that's one interesting point you bring up, that there will have to be a moment in time where they can come back and say a lot about this in order to get viewership. You could also just make the correct decision and just put it out there into the world, and if it's a good show, just let it like organically spread via word of mouth. But we all knew that this was not going to be like A tier material.
What fucking sites is she on where she's the idiot savant to just like go after like quote unquote hate groups? It's like, have you been on Reddit? Have you been on anything? It's all left.
Yeah, Reddit is
very left.
Reddit is basically a platform you can't exist on as a conservative.
I almost deleted Reddit
Yeah,
a couple weeks ago when Charlie was murdered because it was wild, dude.
infuriating. Yeah, that stuff drove me up a wall. Had to.
There are no
What?
There are no like right wing like hate groups that organize online.
Right. They all go to their buddy's ranch in the woods.
I mean, if that
They're compost. Sorry, compound. Compost is shit. Compound is a building. Compost is shit.
This is just so yeah. I guess it's also kind of going under the Jimmy Kimmel umbrella when it comes to just like we're just trying to kind of push that right wing is horrible, even though every major domestic terrorist act has been left.
Yeah. I mean, did you hear the news that broke the other day? This isn't. I don't want to like hard sting into politics or hard swap into politics. We kind of have to in order to talk about this show. But I just want to bring this news out there.
Happenstance.
There was the news that broke just the other day that there was about 274 FBI agents in plainclothes among the crowd of January 6th.
We knew about this.
I mean, we knew about this. Now it's being reported. And so,
yeah, right.
I mean, it was.
And then YouTube is also saying, it's like, hey, yeah, no, we did also kind of block people for their speech.
What I will say is that what I was under the impression, because early reporting said that there were FBI agents in the crowd, and then that got shut down, refuted, and apparently it was debunked. But the original idea was that it was going to be about a dozen, maybe more, but it was not going to be nearly 300 FBI agents. That's like the entire company barbecue went to go and force this activity to happen.
Well, even so, the enticing of J6 to where we walk into the Capitol is just, it's a fucking basically museum tour.
Yeah.
It isn't a riot. It isn't anything. It's just like, hey, what's going on over here?
There were definitely riots that happened there were definitely riots.
I stole a podium.
Stole a podium. Well, there was the guy who stole Nancy Pelosi's laptop off her desk. Do you remember hearing that story?
I bet that guy got rich as fuck following her stocks.
I'd be surprised if he got away with it. I don't remember. I didn't follow that one super closely after. I heard that it happened when when everything was kind of breaking, but I didn't pay to. Nancy Pelosi probably just put it in her purse and just said, "Oh look, it's not on my desk."
Well, I mean, you go to that and it's like, all right, so January 6th is such a violent time, and it's the worst thing since 9/11.
It's so awful. Oh my god.
It's like, all right, so you got George Floyd, where there's billions of dollars worth of damage.
Saint George Floyd.
Sorry, George Saint Lionheart Floyd.
That's better. That's better. Hallowed be his fentanyl.
All these fucking problems. Charlie Kirk, just a dude that gets murdered for just having conversations with college students. Not one riot. There's a tweet, I can't remember from who, but it was like $0 in protest, $0 in riots, $0 in this, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you can compare that to the left's saint.
Yeah, St. George Floyd, hallowed be his fentanyl, is definitely not someone who deserved memorials and what have you. But
what's weird is because like
the distinction here is that self-deletion via like overdosing versus sniper fire in front of your family and the whole world.
Yeah,
it's like kind of not equivalent, and also. Yeah, this is the thing.
And the
right is the party of peace.
It's the angriest you'll ever see the right. And we didn't burn anything down.
No.
We didn't shoot up everything.
No. I'd be like, no one has been hurt or harmed by like the conservatives like backlashing. What I would say is I wish that the right on like if you're going to keep doing protests and college campus tours and stuff, if you're going to go out and you're going to like protest, you need to stop holding back with your self-defense. You need to adequately defend yourself. You need to
use self-defense.
You need to actually defend yourself. Every time you retreat, and
it's always a slap in the face or taking your private property, which is a sign or whatever.
Oh, but I mean, they tear your sign, you tear that ass up.
Yeah,
with your fists. Sorry. Context matters.
When it comes to hating women,
once is enough.
There was a Russian video where this guy was going down a path or whatever, and got hit in the face by this like long. She had sticks or whatever for like walking for distance. Smacked him in the face multiple times. And he's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Smacked him in the face again, and he just swung.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
It's like at that point, dude, it's like, you're fucking hitting me.
I would like it. I would say that the appropriate way to do that is to ask her before everything starts is, are you a feminist?
Do you consent to
Boom.
my fist?
Equal rights means equal lefts. That's what I'm saying. Equal. Get that tattooed. That's fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah, but when it comes to Savant, it's very funny the timing that was supposed to drop.
Well, we knew about this before Charlie.
Yeah.
We knew about this show coming out. It's like, oh, look, another show hating on conservatives. We've never seen that before. And then And then Charlie gets assassinated, and then this show decides to cut itself. It's like, oh yeah, maybe right now is not the right time to just completely dunk on our opponents.
Maybe we should, chill the flames, just like.
Maybe we're the problem. No, we come on.
No, you don't get that. You don't get that moment in like that UK television shows. Like, are we the baddies?
No level of self-reflection.
No, there's no self-awareness,
right,
whatsoever.
Yeah, honestly, the conversation devolves, and it's hard to avoid the obvious context of this story. But it's important to just know that it happened. I mean, if you have
twisted to be like Trump pulled it because of things.
The FCC, yeah, they won't let me be or let me be me.
Yeah, it's so annoying. It's like everything that gets pulled off left wing is like because Trump called the fucking studio head and is like, "Hey, you can have this."
Some content creator I followed, I think it was Andrew Wilson, was talking about this. He's like, no one is doing more harm to the left than the left right now. You need to not we don't want them pulled. We don't want them removed. We want them saying everything, and we want to record them saying it.
Yeah, it's the Sun Tzu Art of War kind of thing. It's like, my enemy is fucking up. I'm going to keep on letting them fuck up.
Can you read this quote by Sun Tzu real quick? Just you said that and I was like, I saw this 10 seconds ago. Like, here we go. It's like,
meme them until they cancel the show, then meme them for canceling the show.
Fuck it.
Sun Tzu Art of War.
Yes. Wise. Very wise. The very wise man. More of it.
It's just annoying, isn't it? Living in this world where people. I think the internet kind of just destroyed people's brains.
Yeah, it very much did.
It's like we're living in this world where it's like we don't live in the same realities.
No.
One's reality, the other one is a perceived reality. And then we're still trying to, fuse the gap or make amends. It's like, no, we don't live.
You can't make amends with people who want you to die or think you deserve it when you die.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with the people dancing on the grave of Charlie Kirk or whatever, or anything bad that happens.
So
is that it's like, oh, they lost their job. And it's like, maybe their employer doesn't want an employee that advertises this shit, basically.
Well, and yeah, exactly.
It's like I work in a small business. It's like if we had an employee that just differentiates from us morally on basic shit like murder, it's like, I don't think I want this person representing my company, therefore they're out.
Right.
It's not a cancellation. It's just
the distinction would be that you had people who were going out and actively digging up old tweets with wrongthink, grabbing the comment, cancel culture. Yeah. You would have them find those and attack advertiser, and they would go to advertisers, they would go to their employers, they would go everywhere trying to get them canceled. But that was, you were digging for that. You had to go find it. You had to go do this.
See what this guy said when he was 16?
Yeah. There was a guy, there was a Jubilee video with, what's that annoying, obnoxious guy who's on Piers Morgan all the time? He's the Indian guy. Is it, if I say Mehdi Hassan, does that sound right? He did a Jubilee, like the surrounded Jubilee 20-on-1 thing. And all these conservatives, and you had one conservative up was like, yeah, I am a fascist. I am a racist fascist. And he's like, this is what we got to do to you guys. We have to use all the power to destroy you. And then he got fired. I'm just like, yeah. And like, yes, that's about right. If you're going to tell your opponent to their face you want them to lose, That's going to
You
happen.
want them dead.
Yeah. There's nothing. What else can happen? I'm not even really sorry for the guy at all.
Yeah, it's
Honestly, I don't remember all the things he said, but I remember being pretty frustrated about it. I remember being like, "This is our representative." You pull up 20 conservatives,
you're into like
and you're like, "This is a conservative." I'm like, "This guy's a nut."
You're the CEO of a network organization. It's like you have people on air saying things that are very divisive, which is fine. That's their right, but it's not their right to say things because of the company. They're basically representing the company. It's not a free speech thing. You're not going to court. You're not under federal investigation or anything. It's the channel you represent or whatever conglomerate.
Yeah.
So it becomes like the only way that they could say is like fine, whatever, you can just do whatever, is that if it is a public space, which Twitter, before Elon bought it, tried to say that they were, where it's like, yeah, it's just a free, it's the Roman square. You can just do whatever you want. You can say whatever you want, but it's not that.
I would say your best argument for cancel culture is Asmongold's response when Asmongold was actually creating, like going up, actively finding people's messages online, and then directly reaching out to either their advertisers or their employers or whomever.
Yeah,
that's
like
cancel culture. But there's
your advertisers, even if they get like notified, and it's like, hey, so and so is saying these things, regardless of left or right or whatever, they're saying some things, and the advertiser is like, I don't want that person, so they drop them. It's like all of a sudden that's cancel culture.
Well, let me be crystal clear.
Consequence.
Let me be that's, I hate that argument partially because I don't disagree with you on that.
We're not being hypocritical when it comes to cancel culture.
I think we actually are. I just don't think it's wrong. Now, here's my point about Asmongold and why I brought him up, is that I don't believe he's doing cancel culture, but that's your strongest argument because he was actually taking the things you were saying and reaching out to employers and bosses, and advertisers to get people shut down or like kind of use that as retaliation. I think the strongest argument we have is that this is your response to a murder. You were canceling people for very vanilla, plain Jane, like Christian conservative positions. Like we think abortion is murder. Like that's a pretty vanilla conservative take, and that's the thing you were trying to like get people's lives destroyed for.
Words in my mouth.
Well, yeah, fair enough. But also, you would go and just like campaign, even if a person said nothing, but you just didn't like the person, you would campaign to get their companies destroyed. So let's say you were making a video game and it was actually like, what was it, Stellar Blade? Stellar Blade didn't have a political position. It just had a sexy woman in it, and these people campaigned to get the game canceled, destroyed, ruined. They went on these hate campaigns about it. So I mean, there are distinctions to draw here. I don't.
Well, I mean, like as a lefty, maybe an argument to where it's like lefty's like, hey, you're doing all the things we did.
Yeah,
it's like, isn't that not hypocritical in your own sense?
Yeah,
you're using your own. You're using our tactics against us.
Remember when we did all this awful shit to you and you said it was wrong?
Yeah.
Well, now you've changed your mind and you're a bad person.
No, you're doing it to us. So aren't you still wrong?
Yeah, So then you just return.
So
fire.
maybe it is hypocritical, maybe, but then people can just be like, well, fuck you, kind of the gloves are off.
I think it's
attitude.
I think
it's like
more that I haven't really flushed out my whole position on this yet. So I'm not trying to like criticize anyone's take on it because I think most people are not through thinking about their positions on this, because if you're a principled person,
very weird time.
Well, if you're a principled person, you look at, it's the old saying, I may hate what you say, but I'll defend to the death your right to say it. Well, okay. Did you mean that when you said that or not? I did.
No, you can say it.
Well,
There might be consequences for what you say, though.
right. But
It's not on the federal level to where
they haven't lost the right
cops
to
are
say
gonna
it.
come get you because of the thing you say. You might lose your job because your employer doesn't agree or doesn't want you to represent them.
Yeah, but do I mean, do I even want that? So like, I don't know what I want.
It's up to them.
Well, I don't. Well, it's partially up to the.
It's up to the employer to where it's like, do you want this person representing your company?
I'm not saying the choice isn't ultimately theirs. What I'm saying is there are organizing and campaigning to get this information that a employer otherwise would not take concern with or look at. And so you're putting spotlights on it.
The dogpiling that you're talking about.
It's the dogpiling. It's the spotlighting. I mean, you go to like, it's that big giant spotlight. You just shine it on these people.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Which they would never have seen.
I guess I kind of want my cake or have my cake and eat it too moment here, because on one hand, I would love to not have to point out how fucking evil these people are. But at the same time, if you do point it out, there's consequences to even pointing it out with some level of self-reflection. I'm like, I just sunk to their level.
Yeah, say I'm in a left-leaning company or whatever, and
now you have a lot of potential employees to hire.
yeah, it's not a freedom of speech thing when it comes to like getting fired or whatever for what you say. It's not a freedom of speech thing. It's freedom of speech is federal.
Well, let me ask you this.
It's not just like a company being like, hey man, I don't like what you're saying. I can fire you for saying said things. It's like, that's just the company trying or doing
the slippery slope
unless it's like public.
The slippery slope here, I guess, is I'm afraid that, parties switch their positions, not often, but they can switch their positions. You know, like the right became the party of the working class, and then the left became the party of assassinations. So it took like a year for those things to happen. So it doesn't happen often, but when it does, it doesn't take long. So I don't want the conservatives to become the party of cancellations. And a big part of my concern is it didn't stop for the left at just like getting you shadow banned on YouTube. It wasn't enough to silence you. They started taking away people's bank accounts. And then they started taking away people's kids if they didn't believe that they should transition.
You talking about Trudeau?
Well, no, I mean the Bank of America did this to any conservative who donated to like or any conservative who donated to the trucker convoy protests. And they were also like, GoFundMe was also shutting down a bunch of like, or GoFundMe got shut down by governments as well. Like it wasn't, the left didn't stop at silencing.
Isn't a bank like a private institution to where they can, not all banks, but a bank to where they can decide whether or not to fund you or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but that isn't, don't you see the problem with that? Like there's effectively a super monopoly with the financial system.
Yeah, they did it to Fuentes. They did it with Alex Jones.
We'll forget the big guys. If we just look at the trucker convoy exclusively and we just say that Canada is just to the north of us, we obviously have enough in common. We can look at them as a Western country and say, this is what the left did. There might be more protections in the U.S. than in some other countries, or less in some cases, depending on who you're comparing us to. But this slippery slope, I don't want the conservatives to debank people or like unperson people. I don't want that to be the conservative movement, and so that's why I'm so hesitant to get behind this.
Political beliefs. I mean, then they're basically it boils down to vote with your wallet kind of thing. Of course, like, why would you bank with this person that canceled said person or won't bank with it? Whatever. It's if you go on the other side and protect these to where I can't fire someone in my very small company over their disregard for human life, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, then you're policing in the other way.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. I would like to find a new.
Or it's like, I don't want this person in my company. That is against the law, isn't it?
Well, in some states, there's right to hire, right to fire.
Yeah.
Like, you can't fire someone for against some protection that they have. You can't use a protection they have as a means of firing them. So, but I mean, in right to work states, you don't need a reason. But if you declare a reason, it better not be a fucking illegal one. So that's my colloquial understanding of how that breaks down. I could be oversimplifying it or just be incorrect in some capacity. But here, let me test you on this. Like, I want to just poke this a little more. MasterCard, Visa, and PayPal effectively shut down, or effectively like closed down an entire industry on Steam. Okay, they're private entities. Do you have an issue with us petitioning them to say anyone who like promoted the assassination or was happy about the assassination of Charlie Kirk should not be allowed to do business with Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal? Do you have a quarrel with that?
Well, it comes.
It's a fair question, right? It's a fair question.
I guess I would. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the extreme of my argument with the banks. Like, people should not lose bank accounts for for being awful people. Like domestic abusers should not have their accounts frozen unless they've been like convicted in court, and then there's other penalties affiliated with that. The economy goes like everything.
What if you own a small business or whatever, and it's like you have a known domestic abuser? It's like you're able to fire said person.
Yeah, the domestic abuse is not a protected class. Yeah,
but
should that person be?
Say they're not a domestic abuser. They're just going. They're preaching something. I'm gonna be very nice with this.
I'm having a fun. This is a fun conversation, so have fun with it. I'm enjoying this.
Basically, they're just preaching something that's against your beliefs. This is like the nicest way I can put it.
Yeah.
And your beliefs are vehemently. Yeah.
Yep.
Against theirs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're one part of the spectrum. You're part of the other spectrum. Well, one, we know you're not allowed to fire people based on religious beliefs, but like
leftism is a religion.
Morals.
Like, it's a dogma.
It's we don't have the same morals. It's like, I don't want this person, so you have to make up a reason to fire said person because they, like, one's for murder, the other one's for not. You're for not.
Mm-hmm.
But your employee is. It's like, I can't fire him because it's based off of religious beliefs.
Okay, so you're saying if his religious belief was that you can murder,
anything is religion these days.
Right. Yeah, it's I don't know that there's been enough Supreme Court rulings on what is and isn't protected under like religious expression.
You can't fire them based off of differences.
Well, you're right. You already kind of answered the question by saying a lot of employers just create a reason. They start documenting poor like performance, or they start documenting that you're 1 minute late and you keep being 1 minute late, or that you have a bad attitude, or you're not in line. Well,
shouldn't that be a thing to where it's like, I can fire this person because we disagree?
I believe in right to work states. Yeah, I do believe that you should be allowed to like sever ties. You don't have to like work together. I don't believe an employee, once they're a part of the company, is like entitled to forever be a part of that company. I don't believe that. Do I think that you should be allowed to, like, let's just grab one more category here to see if we can find out where the line is. Race, right? Can you I'm not going to get on the bandwagon that you could fire someone for race.
I won't hire anyone that's darker than I am.
Dude, you're ginger. That's all people. That's all people are darker than you are. You are translucent. You are basically Casper.
Yeah. They're all out.
All those whites, tan people.
No, when it comes to race, that's where no one gives a fuck about race. It's your attitude. It's how you present yourself. It's
Professionalism,
yeah.
merit.
Luther got it right to where it's like no one gives a fuck basically about your skin. It's the merit of your character.
I agree. Lex Luthor is a great role model.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
kidding.
why I said Luther. You can
I know.
translate it to anyone.
There's a lot of Luthers out there.
No one gives a fuck, dude. It's just
It does suck that the race debate can't die. Like,
well, it can't die because people that get elected by it, they can't let it die. Otherwise, they lose their job.
yeah, I would.
Every problem that gets fixed through Congress, they lose their job.
Yeah, that's the point. You're supposed to solve the problems so that we can cut back government. That's the idea. The more problems you solve, the smaller government gets. If we had a lot of problems all of a sudden pop up, then we would need more things to put back into place. But it's meant to shrink and grow as to match the problem. It's not meant to grow with every problem and never course correct. Anyway, that's government. That's
You're supposed to be a representative of your people, not a problem or a like single issue vote kind of thing. You're representing your people in that state or that district. It's like you're not supposed to be like, oh, I am the beacon of hope when it comes to slicing
prices,
racism.
Yeah, 'cause
if you fix racism, then half the fucking Congress is just GTFO.
Yeah. Let's
that's all they run on.
I want to try to engage with your question though, like about people who are like, who can you let go and for what reason when it comes to like the religious expression of assassinations being okay? Because I think the ideology of identitarianism, I think, is more of a religion than an actual political
tribalism is more of a problem.
There isn't. We've named tribalism, but it is and it has always been a thing. Identitarianism has not always been a thing.
Are you
the
do you identify with like identify is such a gay term? Do you identify with like the Republicans that are office, or do you identify with blah blah blah? It's or any like movement, the Charlie Kirk movement. Do you identify with the LGBT movement? Do you identify with the BLM? It's I think it's a tribalism is a problem.
Yeah.
That one, I don't know how to get rid of it, but it's a you problem. It's like you have to.
Multiculturalism is the problem. Like multiculturalism is the problem, and the fact that you don't have like. If I moved to a tribe somewhere in Africa, and I brought my game PC rig, and I brought my like the studio stuff, and I brought my dog, and I brought all this other shit that's just obviously a Western thing into the middle of a fucking tribe and put it in my tent, like or in my hut. Like, that's not assimilation. I moved there to be a part of that community, not to change that community. Multiculturalism is that you and your neighbor are going to have entirely different cultures that not all the time, but at some and pretty significant points will clash. They'll have opposite opinions on the significance. And I really like how I've seen online the conversation about like the baseball field. You across or down the block from your home, there's a baseball field, and you grew up there. You played with your friends. You had a lot of great memories growing up, and you want your kids to be able to have that same experience you grew up with. But in your journey through adulthood to having a family, you've imported a bunch of migrants who now in that same community want a mosque built, or they want a Taco Bell built or something, and so they want to tear down the baseball field and build something else up that's more aligned with their cultural values.
Which they're doing.
Exactly.
Multiple
Multiculturalism.
states.
Multiculturalism is the issue.
We were talking about two different things. You're talking about assimilation, which I agree. Everyone's like, America was built on immigrants or whatever. And it's like, yeah, no, we were all assimilated. We all had basically the same fucking idea for America. And now it's like, no, I'm going to bring whatever shithole that I left from. I'll say shithole because I'm not the president.
Oh, these shithole countries.
And I'll just implement it in the middle of Minnesota.
Yeah.
So it's like, but we were talking about different things. You were talking about assimilation. I was talking about just not being a part of tribalism, to where it's like you can be your own person.
I don't know that it's possible to not be a part of.
Possible.
No, because I mean, even you in this conversation have said that you're a ginger 4 times.
Well, yeah.
Hold on, don't ignore that. That's what I'm talking about. You have a tribe. You don't associate with a million gingers,
I
but
don't
you have a
associate
tribe.
with any of them.
Everyone sees themselves as their tribe. That's how you emote into the universe.
No, but
This is why assimilation
do you
is the thing
prescribe to a tribe? Are you part of a tribe?
you don't actively join a membership of a tribe.
No,
You
I
are
know
a part of
that.
the tribe by
No.
like your existence. You manifest into a tribe.
As you're just a lone person. What do you prescribe to a tribe? Do you follow a certain way or whatever? And it's like, these are my people, kind of thing.
Well,
My people. I want to stress that towards like it's my people, not
yeah, everyone does.
really. I don't.
Every person. Yeah, you have a your people. You just here's the thing. It doesn't manifest in every moment of life, and it doesn't have to. Again, you were born where you were born. You wouldn't call yourself.
Talk about race wise.
I'm not even necessary. You want me to talk about race?
No.
Oh.
Like, these are my people. Race.
Okay, so
Do you do that?
no.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're talking about race. So we're talking about.
But we don't.
Okay, got you. I thought you were talking about culture and like nationalities.
No.
Like tribalism is.
Okay. Because you're going to inevitably agree with people
Yeah, I'm pretty
that
sure.
have the same moral standings and whatnot that you have.
I'm pretty sure these are the studies that the left.
Race-wise, no.
I'm pretty sure the studies that the left keeps bringing up are that you like everyone has an in-group preference or some level of an in-group preference, an out-group preference. Those vary, but that to some degree people just tend towards their own tribes in a racial sense. I haven't read those studies. Again, it wouldn't be productive to even explore that. Let's say that it's not productive to be like in how many different ways are we different? If you want to build a monoculture of everyone assimilating together, first off, you can't. There's geographical issues that come into play. There's economic issues. You have people who live in a society where there's very little water and people who live in a society where there's an abundance of water. They have different cultures around those issues and benefits that they have geographically. They've adapted to their specific situation from their area. That's one of the big issues why communism doesn't work at scale, because it can't account for all of the different issues that happen just even just geographically. Don't forget all the other issues that are a part of it. But sorry, I went on a tangent there. But I don't see the racial makeup of a person as being the thing that puts me in or out of their tribe. I have a lot more in common with black conservatives than white liberals.
Yeah.
And I don't want to draw that line.
It's like a moral tribalism.
Yeah.
Where it's like we have the same morals.
That's how I look at it. I might be using tribalism incorrectly.
It's like we can disagree on a multitude of subjects or whatever, but it's the more morality that basically holds groups together.
I'm with you. So,
but what I was saying is like, do you like Do you instantly go into like tribal instinct towards like these are my people and therefore I have to do this, or it's like no, I have to hear everything out.
No, when it comes to
And it's like your tribe does nothing wrong is kind of what I was getting at.
okay, I hear you. I hear you. So I usually am the most critical of my own tribe. I obviously look at political opposition and roll my eyes. And oftentimes I have big issues with it. But I'm listening to who you listen to. Who you listen to matters a lot because that's who you're going to end up criticizing or like emulating. You're either going to listen to them and like what they say or not. It's very uncommon. You'll be agnostic on someone you spend a lot of time listening to. If you're agnostic to if you're agnostic to the point someone's bringing up that you listen to a lot, why are you listening to them a lot?
Yeah,
you have a take.
I mean,
that was just my point on that specific thing. I don't know how to answer that question. I don't have a preference towards my own like party, or even my. Do
you have a party?
Yeah, I think so. As like the modern definitions, I would probably say I am like America first, probably pretty isolationist. So
mega party, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much mega.
Not Republican, not left.
I don't know of any Republicans in Congress or the Senate who are as isolationist as I am. I don't think they're as far to the right on isolationism as I am.
I don't want isolationist and everything.
I look at like Canada and
isolationist in my own life.
I don't
even want to talk to you right now.
Fair enough. I look at Canada. I look at Canada and Britain, and I see some of the shit they're doing, and I look at like I grew up thinking of Canada like just north of us being
that's everyone's welcome.
That was what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Canada, I looked at Canada and I was like, oh man, those are our brothers to the north. If we get into trouble, they got our back, and vice versa. And then we got to the national hockey tournament, and their entire country booed our national anthem, and I was like, "Fucking get them!" And I was so happy when our team just beat the ever living piss out of those Canadians.
I remember that. I seen that.
I don't even care that we lost the turn. I don't even care that we lost to them.
So it's like we're tribal in our love for America.
I'm tribal in I think to some degree I'm
tribal in freedom.
I would say so. I mean, freedom's a little bit too generic to be.
Yeah, it's a broad statement.
It's sort of like, am I tribal towards like the level of freedom that puts people in pride parades, like showing their junk to kids? Not necessarily.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I'm not that.
And Democrats voted that down, by the way, for being a felony.
Well,
in Colorado.
Oh, in a specific country or a specific state. Well, it's
basically a country.
I'm pretty sure like indecent exposure is already a thing.
Not in Colorado.
Isn't it a national? Isn't it a national
if you
thing?
say you're a drag queen, you can just whip your shit out in front of a kid.
Huh? It's Colorado, huh?
I'm just saying.
Gross, fucking degenerates. No, I liken the degenerates to the Drakari from the Warhammer 40k universe. There are the Eldari, who are the good elves who like tradition and want to try to rebuild things and make things better. And then there are the Drakari, who are just a bunch of sexual deviants and torturers and like people who love doing bad shit to themselves.
Would you want our country to basically split up? And it's like, we're this thing, the other one's this thing, because it's like the left coast is like, you can do your own fucking thing. We don't want any part of you.
Most
of the country feels that way, to where it's like, just let the left, let California just fall into the sea, kind of thing.
I won't lie, I've held that sentiment. I have had looked at left-wing states and been like,
we're bigger than Europe, and we're a full country.
Well, and we're one of like only a handful of states without a debt. North Dakota specifically, we got kind of lucky, but with the oil and the energy and the agriculture,
multiple states with us to become our own country.
Well, here's what I would. Okay, so the answer to your question is no.
So you want to break up the United States?
The answer to your question is no. I don't. What I do want is I want the laws to be revised and amended. I want amendments and I want new laws passed that allow for counties, which is the smallest, like my understanding is a county is like the smallest current governing existence besides maybe like a township or like a town. Yeah. I want counties. I think counties is a reasonable line. It's really arbitrary because right now you have townships, counties, states, the country. I mean, so I would say counties have as much power as I think anyone would really need to better represent their community. I think counties should be allowed to have more sway over the state lines being drawn and revised.
Well, it's smaller government, right?
No, not necessarily.
No, it's like you want like the basics, basically just being like, all right, this is happening in my county, therefore we have the right, not the right. We can do whatever the fuck we want. Not, it sounds so wrong.
You're missing me. I can tell you're trying to say that you want counties to be states, and I don't want counties to be states.
No, but don't you want states to be like countries instead?
No, I don't want that. I don't want that. That's not what
federal government.
There is our system of government is in my.
We don't agree.
I know you don't even let you, but I gotta actually say what I think on this one. I gotta get this out. My position on this is that I think that we have a form of government that should be working, but for nearly 250 years, we've had state lines move all the time. When was the last time a state line was redrawn? So my position
1880?
So my position is that counties should have more autonomy to choose which states or to form new states with the same structure of government. I think that I think there should be minimums of how much population you should have to have. I think you should have to like get some level of consensus between the people who are there. But I think that I look at Washington and the Greater Idaho movement, and I'm like, this shouldn't be this fucking hard for people who are completely not represented by Oregon, for Portland. I'm fucking that up. Like Washington State has Portland, Oregon.
They're mixed together.
I get the states and the state and names there mixed up a bit, but yeah, the counties in Washington that are not represented or they're basically ruled over, that will not
everything outside of Seattle, basically.
Yeah, they will not get representation. Should have some autonomy and ability to leave without needing the sign off of 7 different entities, all of which have varying and differing interests, that none of which the people of those counties have control over. Like the people in those counties cannot make any significant move that would leverage Seattle or like Oregon to change.
Same with the biggest like liberal like hive minds that are around in our states is that California, a majority of it is red.
Exactly.
New York, a majority of it is red.
So let's talk about Minnesota specifically. Let's just hone in on Minnesota for a second because they don't have a movement. Minnesota has Duluth. They have Duluth and they have Minneapolis, which are both pretty strong left. And they have far more in common with each other than anybody else in the state has with them. In my ideal governing society, the counties that are a part of Minnesota should have the ability to branch into their own state to build themselves up as a state and have their own representatives. They don't have representation and structurally can't because of the way the numbers work in the counties and in the dense populations of Minnesota. So you have all of rural Minnesota being ruled over by an opposition party and does not emulate their values at all. But these big cities can only exist if they get everything they need from the rural communities. And this inability to get representation, that is, I think, not being looked at as the problem.
What about
you had
cities in general?
Well,
every city is what? It's governed by a Democratic mayor. Every city is blue.
Not everyone. I know your point. I'm just carving out some gray area just for accuracy's sake. Yeah, I hear your point. I agree with you. Most cities are blue. Almost all of them. What would I do with them? Is that what are you? What's your question?
No, I mean, the psychopathy behind a city and to where it's always ends up said way.
Yep.
It's like, because we always used to say it's like close to the ocean, the more liberal you're gonna get, which is actually kind of proven. But
is that proven? Because you
look at every coast.
Well, you mentioned California is majority red except for 2 cities.
That's true.
So
it might be city wise, not.
Yeah, it might be population density rather than actual geographic. I'm just pointing that out. I don't know that that's true. I'm just saying. It's an observation.
Turns you gay. No.
The fucking semen whales, man. Semen dolphins. But so my perfect.
It's like why do cities turn blue?
It's an interesting question. I think it probably has something to do with the inability to have individualism.
Like,
you can't express individualism
you have that like, oh, I'm liberal in the city, just doing my thing. It's like, yeah, how's it going, bus driver? Even though I might get stabbed next week.
I don't know, man. It's interesting. It really is.
Yeah.
We've got only one more topic to cover. And it's been a fun conversation. I don't mind having those like political conversations because I think that's where the best conversations happen. The last story we're just going to talk about real briefly is that HBO with HBO's Harry Potter series is set for 2027, and we have rumors coming out that we're going to be getting a female Voldemort. Honestly, there's not much to say here. The casting for Harry Potter has been an absolute shit show. Ever since they announced they're going to make Snape black. I mean, I just think it's DOA. I don't think there's a means by which they can fix this. And if they're just doubling down and they're just like, we're just going to do everything like as a hodgepodge, throwing darts at the wall.
Well, for one, yeah, it is dead on arrival because, one, you fucked up Snape.
Yep.
2, so the casting for Voldemort, which doesn't even appear until, which would be 4 seasons in.
No. There's so
yeah, he's on the back of Quirrell's head.
Yeah.
But this all comes out from like they've thrown a casting call for both men and women.
Mm-hmm.
The only 2 genders. And that's where the whole is like, we might get a fucking woman Voldemort, which at this point, it doesn't even fucking matter. They could go full bore with it. Don't care. They fucked it up from the get-go with casting
Black Snape.
GQ Africa.
Papa Sasidu.
Yeah. As Snape. Yeah. So it's already over. So it doesn't. It's Harry Potter fans.
How the fuck did you fuck that up 3 times?
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
That's a lot of things.
Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
Potter.
Jesus, dude.
I know that. Fucking. Anyway, but no, it's already over because they fucked up casting with Snape. Snape is one.
Snape killed Dumbledore.
Besides 3 kids, you like Dumbledore, Snape. Who else is?
We had Hagrid.
Hagrid,
the Nick,
which is good casting.
I think so.
Nick Frost. Yeah.
I even think John Lithgow is fine for Dumbledore. Bit old to start a project that's going to be 15 years
before the fucking series ends.
Exactly. That's. I mean, he doesn't have to make it to the end of the series.
It's already done, so it's like it doesn't really matter what comes out with this new Harry Potter series because like. All the fans that are in their 30s now that grew up with their books and whatnot, we're already out.
Yeah. Do you think a younger generation is going to care? Like kids growing up with this?
No, the younger generation doesn't give a fuck about anything. Well.
They care about Peppa Pig, Cody.
That's not their fault.
They care about Peppa Pig.
And Skibbity Toilet.
Skibbity.
But no, what do they have? we grew up with the greatest trilogy of all time, Lord of the Rings. You have Star Wars. We grew up with the Harry Potter series. We grew up with
the proper Batman. I'm not wrong. Where's the lie?
Michael Keaton.
No. Christian Bale.
Well, we'd have been in our teens at that point.
Yeah. We didn't draw a parameter here.
Yeah.
And
That is very true.
I didn't say we grew up with Ben Affleck's Batman.
Poor fuckers.
Which technically also would be true. We are still growing upwards to death.
But we grew up with that. We grew up with Pirates.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All that shit.
Yep.
So I remember fucking Pirates, Black Pearl, that came out in 2003.
Yep.
That fucking movie was in the theater for like a year.
Christopher Nolan's golden content has been...
What the fuck do they got like looking up now when it comes to movies and TV?
Marvel and Minecraft movie. Marvel, Minecraft, and CGI reboots.
You want me to beat my
Sonic. They have Sonic.
Son?
They got Sonic the Hedgehog. The Sonic the Hedgehog trilogy, like series or movies that they have coming out.
Compared to what we grew up with?
We didn't have good Sonic the Hedgehog besides TV
like,
shows, I guess.
Like relative is like we grew up with this. They grew up with that.
Well, I mean, we had the 90s Disney movies. They lose. They like high diff L.
Yeah.
They just lose because we have the golden age of Disney movies.
Do you think people are gonna like watch
Cartoon Network Teen Titans? Oh my God, Cartoon Network Teen Titans, just huge win, huge W for us.
People are gonna watch this new Harry Potter series and be like, "Oh yeah, that's like a definitive moment in my
upbringing."
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
I'm where you are with this. It is the news of it, and I do think that it's just kind of interesting that they don't understand how big they're fucking up here, and they're really leaning into it. Either they know something we don't know, or this is dead. This is either the worst project that they'll have in the calendar year 2027, or they know something about like the performances of these specific actors that's going to make completely destroying a character's description worth it. And I doubt it's the latter.
We've talked about this multiple times.
Yeah.
But when it comes to HBO being one of the dumbest entertainment companies, it's
proven.
It's very simple. You only had to follow the books. I don't care if they were in the 90s and they don't
meet modern audiences happy.
Well, the only thing that happens in the books that would equate to modern sensibilities is like magic versus muggle.
Yeah. Where magic is basically a gun.
No one give a fuck about anything else. Right, left, doesn't matter. White, black, don't care. It's just magic shit. And now you're going to make it racist because you have a black guy playing
Snape,
and it's just like, hey. And then you're gonna have Harry Potter just being like, I don't trust that guy. Why? He's black. That's it. You have also Harry Potter's parents making fun of Snape and whatnot. Now it's just going to be a racing instead of just being.
And you have all these kids taking public transit. They're all going to get murdered.
Yeah.
That's just not safe.
It's stabbed.
Look, I do think we got to wrap it up there, but this has been fun. I'm glad we're back into kind of a rotation on regular episodes again. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to smash the like button. Consider subscribing. We have a goal to get to 1,000 subscribers. It'd mean a lot if you could help us get there. Share the video out there. Come hang out with us next Saturday. We are going to be back and having more conversations on the Third Party Podcast. And tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, we are going to be back for Sunday Slackers. The Cody and I are going to be doing some gaming. Should be a good time. Hope you'll come and hang out and join us there. Words are hard. And we are going to wrap it up there. Go tell your stories. See you on the next one. Peace out.
Tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life.